Hey guys, welcome to another video. It's Vuma Levin here. It's the first day of spring, it feels like, and I must say it feels really good. I lived in the Netherlands for 8 years and I do feel like my time there has meant that I do have a disproportionately enthusiastic response to really good weather, and so it feels really good to have some sunshine and some heat. So to mark this occasion of magnificent sunny warm weather outside, I first of all spent the morning doing my customary warm-up technique and practice routine.
Has he really found a way to surpass an ascended Saiyan?
And I'm going to be spending the rest of the day filming YouTube videos for you guys. In recognition of this momentous sacrifice that I'm making to bring you quality content, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel and if you would comment down below with some potential ideas for South African jazz artists that you'd like to see me cover. Thanks so much to all of you who watched my last episode, which is also the first of this series spotlighting South African jazz composers. In that episode, I covered the work of Nduduzo Makhathini, his composition Utemba. In today's episode, however, I would like to talk about a musician, a composer, a mentor, someone who has occupied a role of central importance to many South African jazz musicians, but also musicians from abroad, Feya Faku. I first discovered Feya Faku's music when I was studying in second year at the Tshwane University of Technology in Pretoria. It was that same year that I moved into a new apartment with a guitar player and a trumpet player. I would call it an apartment. My mother called it a crack den.
Hipsters, too cool for school.
You don't look like the kind of guy who does this.
But in all seriousness, we had a really good time in that apartment. The trumpet player that I used to live with, Lisedi, used to play Feya Faku's music every single morning, along with all sorts of other great music that I'd never heard before. And so one day I said to him, hey man, I'm really interested in the music you're listening to, do you mind giving me some? So he burned a CD for me. I guess that shows how old I am. I come from an age in which we used to listen to CDs.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
Anyway, and one of the artists on the CD was Feya Faku, and I heard his music and I instantly fell in love with it, and I listened to it for a large part of my time. And then in my third year of study at TUT, the university, the institution, decided to send a whole load of us to the Grahamstown National Youth Jazz Festival. And this festival is a very important festival for jazz musicians generally, but young jazz musicians in particular. It's a festival that basically brings together jazz musicians and jazz students from around the country, from various institutions around the country, and you basically get to undergo a series of musical workshops. You get to hang and converse with in an everyday sort of social setting with fantastic musicians from both South Africa but also from abroad. And one of the features of this festival is that every single year there's auditions that take place, and the best instrumentalist on every single instrument is selected at first a schools level and then also at a tertiary level. And I had the great privilege of actually being accepted into the youth band. And this particular year that I went to the Grahamstown Jazz Festival, Feya Faku happened to be the conductor of the youth band. And as a result, I got to work really up close with him, learn his songs, undergo a sort of 1 week long mentorship program with him, which of course was fantastic. The experience of being in Grahamstown, of working with Feya, of learning his music, inspired me so much that I actually wrote a song that I dedicated to him called For Feya, which appears on my first album, The Spectacle of Another. The song Manguni also once again has quite a special place in my heart. After attending TUT, after attending the Grahamstown Jazz Festival, I was particularly inspired and motivated to take my studies overseas. And I managed to get into the Conservatorium in Amsterdam, and I spent 6 fantastic years studying there. And upon my return, the first gig that I did was at the Orbit Jazz Club with the pianist Bokani Dyer, who I also met in Grahamstown, who's also once again a very inspiring figure fantastic piano player and just an all-round really nice guy. And he booked me for my first gig. I think I'd been back in South Africa for about a week, and so he sent me a set list, and one of the songs on the set list was, of course, Manguni, which is the song that I'm playing today. And I instantly fell in love with the composition. I loved its sense of lyricism, the blend of modal and functional harmony, the arrangement, the orchestration, the blend of instruments, trumpet with saxophone and flute. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. I actually routinely prescribe this song to my students. I find the fact that it has a predominance of modal harmony during the A sections and then a sort of more functional harmonic approach in the B sections perfect for workshopping modal and functional improvisation. So without further ado, next up I'm going to be playing my own little guitar arrangement of Manguni. If you enjoy this type of content, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and once again, more importantly, leave a comment below outlining which South African composers you would like me to cover throughout this series. Thanks again, guys. Much love, and I'll see you next time. Bye.